Dear friends, in this lecture today we will discuss physical properties of carboxylic acid derivatives. So we will be discussing boiling point, melting point and solubility. These are physical properties. So let us first discuss about boiling point. So this graph that I have shown here, so it shows a boiling point of various carboxylic acid derivatives like acid chlorides, esters, then nitriles, then amides. So I have also incorporated alkanes and alcohols and for carboxylic acids for reference, just to compare how do these stand against these very common organic compounds. Now from a graph you can see, if this red graph, this is the boiling point of alkanes. You can see that acid chlorides, this green curve, and these methyl esters. So the acid chlorides and esters of comparable molecular weight of alkanes, they have similar boiling point. So their boiling point is near to those of unbranched alkanes. So acid chlorides and esters have boiling point near to unbranched alkanes. So that is clear from this graph. You can easily see that their boiling point is very much comparable. Now the since we know that these acid chlorides they contain polar carbonyl group, that we already know from our previous lectures, polar carbonyl group, but even then their boiling point is not very high. The reason is that the polarity of carbonyl group has a very little effect on boiling point. The polarity of carbonyl group has very little effect on boiling point, okay, as it is evident from this graph. Even though these acid chlorides they have a polar carbonyl group, but even then their boiling points are almost similar to unbranched alkanes of similar molecular weight. So whenever we compare boiling point of two different substances, the first thing should be they should have same molecular weight, because molecular mass is the first factor in determining the boiling point. Higher the molecular weight, higher the boiling point, because of higher van der Waals forces, okay. So whenever we compare two different organic compounds, they must have, for comparison, they must have same molecular weight, so that we can say that that effect is because of that functional group. So esters and acid chlorides, their boiling point is similar to those of unbranched alkanes. The reason I have already told you, because they also lack hydrogen bonding. They do not have hydrogen bonding, first of all, among their molecules, and even though they have polar carbonyl groups, but the polarity of carbonyl group does not have that much effect on their boiling point. Now let us see about carboxylic acids. So these are carboxylic acids. You can see that these carboxylic acids have higher boiling point than esters and acid chlorides. That is evident from here. Acids they have very high boiling point, and the reason is already, you already know from the structure of carboxylic acid, there is a strong network of hydrogen bonding. Or we can say carboxylic acids, they are strongly, we can say carboxylic acids, they are strongly hydrogen bonded. Strongly H bonded means hydrogen bonded in liquid phase. That is the reason for their higher boiling point, and in fact they have higher effective mass because of hydrogen bonding. Carboxylic acids they exist as dimers and have higher effective molecular mass. Because of this, also they have higher boiling point. So we can show that their network hydrogen network structure like this. This is one molecule of, so hydrogen of one molecule, it makes hydrogen bond with oxygen of second carboxylic acid molecule. Like this is hydrogen bond, so they exist as a dimer. Because of this they have higher effective molecular weight. That can also be proved using colligative properties. We can prove that they exist as dimer. So because of this dimer formation and because of this hydrogen bonding network, they have higher boiling point than esters as well as acid chlorides and alkanes. They have even higher boiling point than alcohols, because the extent of hydrogen bonding is more in acids compared to alcohols. Now here you can see nitriles. So nitriles are RC triple bond N. So RC triple bond N nitriles. They also have higher boiling point than esters, alkanes, even alcohols, almost similar to alcohols and acid chlorides. Now the reason for this is that the reason for higher boiling point of nitriles than esters and acid chlorides of similar molecular weight is because of strong dipolar association. The reason is first I will show this dipolar association. So RC triple bond, and it is partial positive, it is partial negative. So the dipole is like this. So we have another molecule, we can write like this. Here it is partial positive, it is partial negative. Nitrogen has a lone pair. So because of these dipolar attractions, so one dipole, second dipole, so these strong dipolar attractions, or we can say dipolar associations, strong dipolar association in nitriles lead to higher boiling point. So they have higher boiling point. You can see from here they have higher boiling point than acid chlorides and esters. The reason is these dipolar associations like this. The dipolar association is very strong in nitriles, that leads to higher boiling point. Now if we look at amides, so these are amides, they have very high boiling point, even higher than carboxylic acid. So we should give some justification. So from graph it is clear amides have highest boiling point. So they have surprisingly high boiling points. Amides, they have surprisingly high boiling point. So whether it is primary, secondary or tertiary, so you can see primary amides, they have a highest than secondary. Tertiary amide, they even have higher boiling point than carboxylic acids. So carboxylic acids have higher than others, so they have higher than other carboxylic acid derivatives also. Even they have a high melting point compared to other compounds of similar molecular weight. So the reason for this is that primary and secondary amides, they participate in strong hydrogen bonding. The hydrogen bonding is very strong in primary and secondary amides, so that is the reason for their higher boiling point. So if I write the resonance of this amides, let me write some amide RC double bond O N. So it is some tertiary amide. Just I have chosen one structure. So if we write its resonating structures, we can have its dipolar resonance can lead to a dipole, negative double bond and positive R dash R dash. So these are dipolar resonance in amides. So dipolar resonance in amides. So because of this, there is a negative charge on oxygen and partial positive charge on nitrogen. You can see this dipolar structure. there is a negative charge on oxygen and partial positive charge on nitrogen. So because of this dipolar resonance, we have a charge separation, negative on oxygen and positive on nitrogen, and this positively charged nitrogen, it polarizes the NH bond. Okay, so this positively charged nitrogen, it polarizes the NH bond. So being partially positive, it attracts more electrons from hydrogen and it make it more positive. Okay, so the positively charged nitrogen, it polarizes the NH bond, making hydrogen strongly electrophilic. Okay, making hydrogen strongly electrophilic. Now like we have RC double bond O NH2, let us write here. So its resonating structure is R uh, C O negative double bond NH positive. So this positively charged nitrogen, what it does, it attracts electrons from here and makes this hydrogen highly electrophilic, electron loving. This positively charged nitrogen, it polarizes this bond, okay, and makes this hydrogen electrophilic. So now we have the negatively charged oxygen here, negatively charged oxygen, they are particularly effective in forming negatively charged oxygens lone pair of electrons. We have electrons, 6 electrons here. These lone pair of electrons on negatively charged oxygen, they are very effective in forming hydrogen bond and two polarized NH hydrogens. So these polarized hydrogens of one molecule, they make hydrogen bond of these lone pair electrons on negatively charged oxygen of second molecule. Let me write this extensive network of hydrogen bonding. If we can write C double bond N positive H H O negative R. This is a resonating structure of amide. So this N positive, it makes this a hydrogen. So this hydrogen, it becomes electrophilic. So it makes a hydrogen bond with negatively charged oxygen of second molecule of amide. So here is the hydrogen bond that is formed between two molecules of amide. Now this hydrogen can make with negatively charged oxygen of second molecule of amide. So that is the hydrogen hydrogen bonding in amides. So because of this hydrogen bonding network, amides, they have very high boiling point, even higher than you can see from carboxylic acids. Secondary amides can also have hydrogen bonding, but tertiary amides, they lack. Tertiary amides lack hydrogen bonding because they do not have hydrogen atoms to make hydrogen bond. Now you can see this is a tertiary amide. Tertiary amide, you can see it does not have any hydrogen or nitrogen. So how will it make a hydrogen bond? It does not make a hydrogen bond. Even then, if we look here, even tertiary amides, they have higher boiling point. So we have to give some justification for this, why a tertiary amide, even though they lack hydrogen bonding, they have higher boiling point. The reason being that it is because of pairing of two molecule, because of pairing of two molecules is strongly attractive. I will show you the bonding, how they attract, is strongly attractive, and helps to stabilize in liquid phase, helping to stabilize the liquid phase. So because of this vaporization, we have to provide high temperature to disrupt these arrangements. So vaporization means we have to provide heat, disrupts these arrangements, disrupts this arrangement. So we have to give more heat to vaporize it and to disrupt this arrangement. So high temperature is needed for boiling. Temperature is needed for boiling. So let us see the attractive pairing among two molecules of tertiary amides. So we have this resonating structure of tertiary amides. So we have this one molecule of amide. So there is a dipolar attraction. There is a formation of dipole. Now we have second molecule like this. So we have strong dipolar attractions among these molecules of two amides, so that this association, this attractive association, that leads to higher boiling point of tertiary amides, even though they lack hydrogen bonding. Okay, so because of this hydrogen bonding, if we talk about melting point, so strong hydrogen bonding among primary and secondary amides. So as I have already shown you the resonating structures, that there is a strong hydrogen bonding between molecules of primary and secondary amides. Because of this, they also have high boiling point. They also have high melting point. So they had high melting as well as boiling point because of strong hydrogen bonding network among the molecules, intermolecular attractions among these molecules. Okay, so that was all about what you say, if melting point and boiling point. So if we have to write, so HC double bond O NCH3, so dimethyl formamide, it is dimethyl formamide. So it has a melting point 61 degree minus 61 degree Celsius. So if we have CH3 C double bond O NHCS, now it has hydrogen, so it can form hydrogen bonding. So it is N-methylacetamide. So because of this hydrogen bonding, it is a secondary amide. Its melting point is 28 degrees Celsius. You can see it is higher than this tertiary amide because it does not have hydrogen bonding. Similarly, propinomide CH3 CH2 C double bond O NH H. This is propinomide. So it has a melting point of 79 degrees Celsius. You can see it has even higher melting point than this because it is primary amide and its hydrogen bonding is more than secondary amide, and in secondary amide hydrogen bonding is more than in primary amide. So that is the reason for their higher what you say, higher melting as well as boiling point. So that was about melting and boiling points. Now let us talk about next physical property, solubility. So all of these contain some alkyl part, alkyl chain. So these acid derivatives, they are soluble in common solvents. Acid derivatives, they are soluble in common solvents. Like, what are these common solvents? Such as alcohols, alcohols ethers, then chlorinated, like DCM or chloroform, chlorinated alkanes, and aromatic hydrocarbons. Aromatic hydrocarbons, these are the solvents that can solubilize these acid derivatives, and these acid chlorides and anhydrides, they are very reactive, that we have already seen that they have very high reactivity towards nucleophilic substitution reactions. So for these we cannot use nucleophilic solvents. Okay, nucleophilic solvents cannot be used because they react with these solvents. What are these nucleophilic solvents? Like water, alcohol. This is water, alcohol. All these are nucleophilic solvents. So they react with these acid chlorides and anhydrides. So they cannot be used for to solubilize these acid chlorides and anhydrides. Many of smaller esters, amides, and nitrites, they are relatively soluble in water. So smaller esters, because they are less reactive, amides and nitriles, these are relatively soluble in water. Because their reactivity is less compared to acid chlorides and anhydrides. So the reason for their solubility, why they are soluble, because they are polar, their high polarity. The reason for solubility is high because water is a polar solvent, high polarity and ability to make hydrogen bond with the water. So these are the parameters that affect the solubility of a compound in water. So some are polar, some can form hydrogen bond with water. So that leads to their solubility in water. So ester, tertiary amides, and nitrile are frequently used as solvents for organic reactions. Esters, tertiary amides, and nitriles are common organic solvents for organic reactions. They are used in many reactions as solvents, because the reason is that they can provide a polar reaction mixture without OH or NH groups. The reason is they provide polar environment without OH and NH bonds. So the reason is that's why they are used heavily as a solvent for organic reactions, because these OH and NH, they can act as nucleophiles. That's why they are not used, as we have seen that for acid chlorides they react very violently with these compounds to form nucleophilic substitution products, the solvents having OH or NH. So the alternative groups that are also polar and they lack these OH and NH groups, so they are esters, tertiary amides, and nitriles. So, ethyl acetate is very commonly used. Ethyl acetate is very commonly used solvent. It is a moderately polar solvent. Moderately polar solvent with the boiling point around 77 degrees Celsius. So it is a low boiling. Also advantage is that it is a low boiling solvent. It can be removed easily from reaction mixture. So it can be removed easily from reaction mixture once the reaction is over, and it is a moderately polar solvent, so that is why it is used heavily in organic reactions, whereas acetonitrile dimethyl formamide, abbreviated as DMF, and dimethyl acetamide, DMA. Acetonitrile, dimethyl formamide, and dimethyl acetamide, they are highly polar solvents. Highly polar solvents, and they solvate ions almost as well as water. Solvate ions, we know that ions, they are solvated in solvents, because they are highly polar, so they solvate ions almost as well as water, almost as equal to water, so they are good substitute for water, and they do not have these active OH or NH groups that can react and that can act as a nucleophile. That is the advantage, and these three are miscible with water and often used in solvent mixtures with water. Another advantage is they are also miscible with water, so they are used as a mixture with water. We can have it depending on what polarity we need, we can have a possible mixture with water. So that was all for today in physical properties of these acid derivatives. Basically we discussed boiling point, melting point, and their solubility. So far we have discussed their general chemical properties and physical properties. So from the next lecture we will discuss separately the each individual carboxylic acid derivative, their method of formation, and their chemical properties. So thank you very much for your kind attention.